Hiya, good morning. I've turned the camera around now, so hopefully this is actually the third stage of this drawing, and the first two were very kind of slapdash, and now I've turned the camera around and moved the bed, and I think this is going to be a better. Oh, I forgot to put in the microphone. Hang on. Just plug you. And just to let you know that Maisie's here with us too. Good girl, Maisie. I'll take her out shortly, but just now I'm going to carry on with this drawing for another while. I got these bracelets from Lily for Christmas. And you know, I got the quilt. Hope made me a beautiful patchwork quilt. And then Erin did this lovely book of memories, photographs she put together, a kind of an artistic book. So I feel really blessed with them. I'm really grateful to the girls for their kindness there, you know. Right, what next? This is just at the distance where I'm not sure whether glasses would be of benefit or a hindrance. Unless they're necessary, I'm not really that keen to use them too much, my glasses. Okay, so I started doing this drawing this morning when I woke up. I should really say my name is Anya Devine. If any of you haven't been here before, you're very welcome. There's a fair few videos on a fair few subjects going back years now, so enjoy yourselves if you want to have a rummage through them. I sometimes go back myself and kind of have a lucky dip and see what was going on for me during different drawings that I've done on YouTube. And I've always got to say that, you know, many of them are very, well, some of them are a bit, well, all of them are unprofessional, because I'm not a professional camera maker, filmmaker. But some of them are better than others in terms of sound and picture quality and everything. Like yesterday I did a video inside in bed and I was drawing Maisie, and sure, I just took it down after watching it yesterday because you could see nothing of the drawing. Yeah. And as I said earlier, I looked a bit kind of worse for wear myself. Just owning a bit of vanity there. Wanting to be seen. Wanting to be seen as, you know, presentable. Anyway, these are the pens that my sister Rita gave me, and I really love how they work. What are they now? They're Nick Pro. She gave me them last Christmas and they're still working, and I have refills as well. Beautiful colours too. Okay, I keep seeing that. Now I think eventually there'll be some green in here as well, but just for now, this is what's happening. I tried turning on a lamp over my left shoulder, but it was too bright and created just luminous sheet where the paper was, so that was no good. Kind of liking the purple. Let's see what this is. This is acrylic ink and it's actually working, surprisingly. I hadn't expected it to work. I like the acrylic ink because it works over the pens and really clarifies things if you want to find brightness again where there was something dark. It's a helpful one. Like this one should have worked like that as well, but it didn't when I was doing the tree. It was nice and bright over the white, but it didn't really work over the dark branches. So I'm using the fluorescent pink one now in order to try and link up the branch. Need to really some of the colour really sits over the top. I'm not getting it to sit over the top so well there, so I'll need to find another way of explaining that. I think maybe the glitter pens work a bit like that as well, that they strengthen the line. I shouldn't use them until the acrylic was dry, but I've done it now. Still working. I've written Avatar down there because we're hoping to go and see the Avatar movie. And Hope got me not Hope, but my brother in Ireland bought me a voucher. Like, he just gave me money to get an afternoon tea and massage for myself in a hotel somewhere, which is a really lovely gift. So I've written that down too, to book. There's some really good deals, on places like Groupon and Buy It Now and Living Social. These are all voucher places where you can get vouchers for things, and there's quite a lot of afternoon tea and massage combinations that you can get. I went with Erin because we had a voucher for one of these massages and spa day, kind of spa morning, last week, and it was really, really lovely. So I think I might try and get that hotel again. It was the MacDonald Hotel in Falkirk, and I met a lady who was doing what I'm going to be doing, and she was there by herself in her bathrobe eating her afternoon tea, and I thought, that is the business. Of course, I'd take my books with me. We did get dressed for our lunch, because actually I probably would if I was even on my own, because I thought I might get a bit chilly and feel a bit conspicuous as well, That day it was fine because we were chatting to her, and she and I and Erin were the only people in our part of the dining room, so that was grand. I love to see women taking care of themselves like that, It's a good reminder to me that I can, there's permission, because I certainly feel like I can manage life a lot more fluently, freely, flow in the flow when I'm just kind of sorted myself, well rested, at ease. So anything that promotes that is welcome to me. And one main thing that promotes that is going out for a walk, hail, rain or shine. Just love the freedom of walking underneath bright skies, big skies, and every sky is big, really, in the end, I suppose. Anyway, yeah, but especially in the woods it's lovely, and these branches kind of teasing the thoughts out of my head. There's a little passageway where there's lots of branches hanging down, and it's just a thin passageway, and they've got roots. You have to be quite alert and present, because you could easily take a tumble with all the roots that are hidden, and some not so hidden, under the earth. You could easily stumble, so I suppose that helps too with attention, being fully present in the moment. And then I feel like as I'm giving my presence to each footfall, it feels as though the branches and twigs are giving they're kind of taking the opportunity to detangle my head. That's what it feels like sometimes. But regardless of that, it's actually just a lovely thing to go for a walk, whether alone or with other people. I have Maisie with me, but I pretty much, and animal lovers might resist this now, but I pretty much ignore her when we're walking. I mean, she's a companion, I don't talk to her that much when we're walking, but I love her being there. It would be a different thing without her, and I wouldn't go walking as much without her, despite my great intentions. It's only through it being a complete necessity sometimes that I do venture out. So I'm very, very glad of you, Maisie. And she's great too, like she's just lying there asleep now, and it's 10 o'clock, she's not demanding a walk to, she's not jumping all over the show. So she's a very easy dog now. Touch wood. There's something very pleasing about working with colour and just putting a line wherever you want it to go. Trees are great for that. If you want to do something spontaneous and free, you could just start with a trunk and draw lines out from it and split the lines up as you go, and you've got yourself a tree. And you can do the same thing down the way. Today I felt like I wanted the roots to go vertically down, like really settled and still, and then a flourishing branches. I want them to connect a little bit more now with this face again. So some of the branches are extending from the edge of the face, but really all coming from the same source. Just bring some of the orange down so that we know that. Funny to be doing this on lined paper, but I like to do a bit of writing some mornings. I've written out my dream and things. Maisie doing her sighing again. And then I don't want to be bothered like changing paper and stuff, so. And I quite like looking back over. Like I think I've got some drawings in here. Yeah. Last night I did a drawing. This drawing is kind of a little bit the shape of the sticks that I put together in a circle like that. It's the shape of what I made on the ground in the woods along the path I was telling you about. When you come to the end, there's a clearing and there are trees there, and that's where I've got a whole pile of twigs that I create pictures from and change them about and things. Don't disturb the place too much. It's just like laying one stick down beside another in a circle or a different shape. Yesterday I started with a circle, and then I laid the sticks down. I didn't have anything to take a photo, so I might go back and do that actually, because I do like to have a record of these things, because they change every time a dog walks past. Like, the sticks are, my goodness, sounded like skidding. The sticks are moved, disturbed, I like that though. I like that it's a living thing that's going to be changed when I come back, and I can have no preciousness about it, and I can make it change again myself. And it's good to change it about. Like the very first time I used those sticks, it was just around the two trees with a circle of sticks like this, and then I gathered them together and started making smaller circles. And I usually bring a stone myself and put it in the center. Like yesterday I had a bit of rose quartz that I put in the center and said a few prayers for people in my life. And it was a lovely thing to remember to pick up that piece of rose quartz and put it back in my pocket. And I've got it sitting across from me here on the dressing table now. It feels a bit like bringing the grace with me, or the opportunity for grace, back home. So what do you think of that? That's my little solitary ceremony, if I can be bothered going up to the woods. Many times I just walk around the field 3 or 4 or 5 times, and that field is a lovely little pilgrimage for me too. It's just over the road, like, so it's really not even over a road, it's just along the street, really. I'm very grateful to have these spaces in my life. Now is this going to work? I need to put my glasses on to see. Oh yeah, it does make a difference having my glasses. But I don't think this is really, that's not really working. That yellow. And this one's working, isn't it? I've got fluorescent acrylic ink that I could use on a different day for this beautiful bright. I love fluorescent colour when I really want to get the brightness of the colours down. I love using really fluorescent shades to make a big impact. I think there's something about like the connection between beauty and the brightness of nature and wanting to somehow really capture its full iridescence. Oh, Maisie might start barking now. Her particular dogs that she's not so keen on, or that she just likes to bark at in passing. So I'm sorry in advance if that's what she's going to do. No, settled again. So I was saying about the fluorescent ink. It's somehow it's a bit like when I'm painting flowers too, as in a so-called serious picture of flowers. I still want to get this really brightness of the petals as the light falls on them, and so I end up using oil paint really thickly. And I think the fluorescent ink is another way of capturing that delight in the brightness of things. And there is a kind of a light, something like a kind of a light coming through everything, isn't there? It feels like that at the back of everything. There's this a bit like a computer screen being backlit, you know. Behind everything there's a iridescence. And iridescence. Okay. I'm halfway through. No, I'm not halfway through. I'm almost finished a book I'm reading called Bird by Bird by Annie Lamott, who's a writer and teaches writing, and she's a lot more than that as well. But anyway, I love her. I'm reading that book, and what I might do after this now is get myself a cup of tea and some toast with marmalade. That's what I did yesterday. It was lovely, sitting in bed with my tea and toast and reading. So I might do that if Maisie will tolerate another half hour. Or got lots of options. I did want to do yoga and meditation. That's what I put on my list last night. And if I was to do that, I would do that before eating, really. We'll see. I think I've got a special amnesty around this time of year. I can feel the voice of self-sabotage. I wrote that on my list last night because I missed doing yoga yesterday, and I was kind of wanting it to be part of my day today. So I wrote that on my list last night, and do you hear myself saying about the tea and toast now? I was wondering how that didn't sound so fantastic to me, and it was because I had set myself up to do something different. Anyway, end of story. There's something very nice too about leaving something halfway done and revisiting it and making some big changes maybe in revisiting it, because you come back with some different kind of you know, everything is in flux and changing, and you might return with a different feeling altogether as to what you want to do. But for now I'm still enjoying this. I don't ever want to do stuff like this with or anything really under duress. Oh goodness, look, that's a nice looking colour. It comes out darker, but it's still nice. The good thing about it is it's a very richly flowing ink, so there's nothing half-arsed about this bit. I'm not having to force the ink onto the page or anything. Yeah, I like that it's possible to make changes all the way through here. And to continue creating this tree as well. I wonder what kind of a Christmas you guys have had, if you celebrate Christmas even. As I was saying yesterday, oh, there's Maisie doing her sigh. Maybe she's emulating you listening to it. Maybe on the question of Christmas you too made a deep releasing sigh. Maybe a glad it's over sigh, or a it's not so easy sigh. I think it can be a tough time for many folk, Christmas. And I don't know anybody who really sails through. Well, I do. But you know, sometimes even with the best will in the world, things can happen amongst loved ones that aren't, that, you know, because of the stress of the season, there might be rifts and things. So I just hope that everything feels good for you, and that you've managed to keep yourself intact and in some way settled and happy in yourself. And I recommend drawing if there's anything playing on you. You could, well, one of the things my friends told me to do was a brain dump. When I was doing the mindfulness course, they were saying, you know, one of the exercises they recommended was just to write it all down if there's something playing on you, to write it down with no censoring whatsoever, and then you could burn it. I did that last week on the solstice. Well, no, it was a couple of days after the solstice. I was really angry for some reason, and I wrote it all out in 5 or 6 pages. There was loads of, it was very energetic, and I didn't want that to be in my house, like. So I took it with me to burn it, to release into the ether, and it felt lovely. The whole process felt lovely, like not denying that it was there, but celebrating getting it out too, and burning it. That was nice. That's definitely not my phone now, because my phone is lost. I think I left it in Argos on Christmas Eve, and you know, it's funny, I've not been that keen to get it back. I am keen to get it back, but yesterday I wasn't. I didn't think of it really, but today now I'll give them a phone and see if they have it. I think I left it on the counter. You see, they turned off the lights because we were the very last customers on Christmas Eve. I was picking up something I'd bought for Lily, and they turned off the lights as soon as the transaction went through. The lights automatically went off, I think. And I think I left my phone on the counter because I had the order number on my phone. And then I phoned back when I got back home, but because Sainsbury's was still open until 7, and Argos is in Sainsbury's, but actually everybody from Argos was gone home, and the counter was alarmed, so they couldn't go near it. I thought afterwards I could have could have phoned it so that they could identify whether through the sound whether there was a phone there or not at least. But anyway, I didn't. I'll give them a phone today and hopefully they'll find it. It's a good thing, like I said, doing a tree, because you can do stuff by rote. Not by rote, but you know, it doesn't feel like it's kind of taxing. Like every new branch is easy enough to locate. There's no big deal about where to put the twigs, because as long as they're getting smaller, I suppose, as you go out the way, and you can divide up. I remember a teacher telling me one time about trees, you know, you can just split up the trunk into two and then continue to split every branch into two. It'll read as a tree. I like that idea. And I like too that I like too that the branches are going all the way to the edge of the page now. Yeah, so I'm swithering now about whether to go to a coffee shop and read my book later on, or will I sit in bed and read for a while. Because I do want to bring back my routine of doing a bit of yoga and meditation every day. And I think if I start having tea and toast in bed, I'm less likely to get up and do my yoga and meditation. I could do the meditation in bed, but I like to do it after the yoga. I think it's good to move my body first. And it's more easy for me to be still then. When I've done some deep breathing through yoga and things. Right. Thanks for listening to me here. I just trust that if you're still there, you're wanting to be there, and it's no big deal. Maybe you're sitting having a cup of tea, and I'm on in the background, like one of these friends who kind of witters away, and I'm fine with that. Also fine if you've chosen to turn me off ages ago. Not for everybody. But you know, even if there's one person, or I think even if there isn't anybody at the other end, this feels quite good for me. This feels good for me to be chatting away. I think we're born to chat away. I think that's part of our makeup, is to just chat away. Have a bit of a laugh, you know. Meander through the day with little simple conversation. And I like that I can do that at the beginning of the day here before even getting out of bed. Because sometimes I love them dearly. Sometimes, you know, a teenager isn't always interested in having a conversation with their mum. That's not true. We've had lots of lovely conversation. But there are times when they're, like Lily might be involved in something else, and and this isn't the kind of rhythm of conversation that generally appeals unless we're sitting at the dinner table. There's other stuff more important than, as I say, wittering away. I feel like wittering is a nice word. It's not a derogatory term for me, because it's something like creating an opportunity to just have movement happen through words even. I think the key is movement there. It's that stuck ruminating energy that mostly bothers me. I like to be still, but I like to have You know, that sense of flow and stillness even. And not a stuckness where it's like lingering over a single thing or something. It's lovely to keep the old flux going. Okay, I'm kind of like in the dark because I feel like it's maybe night sky over here. In between the brightness of the shine and the fluorescent shine on some of these branches. I think that this midnight sky is really what I'm after here. And if I could get some twinkling stars, I've got a silver acrylic pen that might print on some stars for me. I was thinking of Lake Isle of Innisfree there. Their midnight's all a glimmer and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wing. I'm going to recite the whole thing. You know I am, don't you? You were expecting that. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin build there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wing. And evening full of the linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while standing on the roadside or on the pavements grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. Well, that's better than wittering away, isn't it? I love poems. That was William Butler Yeats, and it's the Lake Isle of Innisfree. And there is actually an island on the lake. I love it. It is really a place, Lake Isle. Imagine retiring and just living on an island in the middle of a lake in the west of Ireland, and to build a cabin there of clay and wattles made. I love that, clay. I'd love to build a cabin from clay. I mean, I mightn't survive in it long, I suppose, seeing as I love my home comforts too. But there's something really primal about that, using clay to make your own cabin. And then I like the 9 bean rows as well. So there's a certain order and a hive for the honeybee. And you know, sometimes there's a deep desire, isn't there, to live alone in a bee-loud glade. There have been times in my life when I've recited that poem as I walk through the woods. Transitionary times, you know, when I just wanted to be alone in a bee-loud glade. And imagine the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, and the linnet's wings and the crickets and the midnight, all a glimmer, noon a purple glow, evening full of the linnet's wings. Speaking of midnight, she's mewing at the door here. My midnight. I have a friend who writes poems, and I would love to say his poem as I'm doing a video, so I'm going to ask him if I can do that for tomorrow, because I don't want to just say his poem without him giving me permission. It might be interesting to make a drawing a little bit inspired by the poem as well. I think we're all inspired by everything that we've encountered in our lives, and poetry is one of those things that embeds deep in us, I think. And so I feel like whatever lines of poetry that I have imbued or have infused me over my life, they'll be the things that'll be in my expression as well, like whether it be a drawing or paintings and things. I don't know. I think we all kind of you know, expressed from our experience of life. And so I suppose that's another reason it's kind of made, just saying that there, it's another reason to make sure that what we do infuse ourselves with, or imbue, you know, what we do take in. I'm trying to find this kind of posh word for it or something. I don't know if it's a posh word. I'm just trying to find the right word. I like to articulate things with clarity, you know. But anyway, it's something about it. It's not imbue. It's what is it when you ingest something? So ingest maybe. So it makes me aware of the importance of choosing with care what it is that we ingest into our systems, visually and auditorily. And I suppose, while I resist this one a little bit, it's good too to choose with care what it is that we eat. And also to enjoy Christmas and the whole enjoyment of food and abundance that's available in this season. Thankfully, in my life, I've got abundance. And you're part of that abundance, actually. This connection with you. Whoever is receiving this. Whichever cat it was that was at the door, I think it was midnight. She's kind of given up calling on me, so she might be just having a rest out there. You see, we need to get a cat flap. I've let them out and in already this morning, but I think they want to have their own agency there. And I did apply. You have to apply for a cat flap, and I've got the note, the application form that they sent back, but I've just not followed through on that. Some things I follow through on really swiftly, other things linger for a bit longer. And it's one of those things that I've made my peace with fairly well most of the time. I just trust that if I've not done it yet, it's okay. No point in giving out to myself too much about that. It'll get done in good time. I like the extension out the way here. That's what I'm wanting. A feeling of bounty and flourishing. And growth and growth and growth. Potential. And this feeling of rooting down and flowering up. I love that. And the stillness of that space too. Hopefully there's a feeling of peace here. I saw a purple pen earlier. I was going to, when I was reciting the poem there, and there was noon a purple glow. I thought, oh, maybe I'll use purple too in this sky. So watch this space. There's the purple pen. It's quite close to the midnight blue anyway. And there's bags and boxes of pens around me here. I almost feel like there's too many. I'd like to go through go through them and select the colours that are my favourites and have those in a special box that I can just pull out. Oh, there's midnight again. And the other thing is I'd like to select the ones that work really well and from the ones that don't. Yeah, I'm going to let midnight out now and decide what next to do. I might carry on painting, drawing that, or I might do my yoga meditation and carry on and have a walk with Maisie maybe. Or the other option is the yeah, I think I need to stretch. I'll do some yoga and a bit of meditation maybe, and then I can have my tea and toast and read my book, take Maisie on a walk. There's my book there, look. And you can hear midnight outside. And this is a card my friend Fiona gave me in my Fiona Clark. She gave me in my Christmas card. I don't know if it's back to front for you. Use your smile to change the world, but don't let the world change your smile. So happy Christmas, kinda. It's over now, but this is Boxing Day. No, it's not. This is the 27th actually. So I hope you had a good time and that you're having a good time and that you're, whatever time you're having, that you're managing to find some peace in yourself and give yourself a hug and have a good day. Get out under the sky if you can. Lots of love. Bye.